Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderfall Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Well, last night we got the Warhammer Age of Sigmar mid-year FAQ, or rather the January FAQ, Winter FAQ, Summer FAQ, whatever you want to call it. Now, let's have a little bit of a chat about it because it's caused quite a bit of controversy online on whether or not it was sufficient. There are some very key points that have happened with this, and of course last year we've had a whole host of different issues. So let's get reading their article, let's read what Games Workshop have said and put out, and let's look at the FAQ. For better or for worse, this is what we've got, so let's take a look at it. And so they go, a lot has happened in the Mortal Realms since the last big FAQ release, including the rise of Sons of Behemoth and even the first of the Broken Realms book. You've all been playing games, reading rulebooks and submitting your questions and comments, and thanks for that. The Warhammer Age of Sigmar rules team have given your feedback a good look and made some tweaks and adjustment where they were needed. The result, a comprehensive set of FAQs covering numerous factions plus Broken Realms Morathi. In particular, you'll want to pay special attention to the Broken Realms Morathi errata, which among other things brings a massive boon to Slaves to Darkness armies. You can now take a whole army of mortals from the wastes of the Varan Spire, including battle line units using the amazing Warcry models. With this update, they'll also gain access to Marks of Chaos, so you can synergize them with loads of other units, abilities, spells in your army, while opening up loads of opportunities for cool conversions. Awesome. Beyond that, you'll find lots of smaller tweaks across the breadth of factions, clearing up some slightly contentious rules. And lastly, before we get to the downloads, take a moment to read a quick note from the rules team. So this is what they've said. Greetings from the Mortal Realms. In this update for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, we address some of the finer points of recent battle terms, as well as clearing up the biggest issues our faithful community have brought to light over the past few months. One thing you'll notice missing from this update are changes to pitch battle profiles. Allow me to explain our reasons behind this. We've decided to withhold any changes to pitch battle profiles in this update because of the reduced number of games being played around the world, and therefore the reduced amount of feedback and results from events that would follow them. Although a small number of events were still able to take place last year, there is not enough data for us to confidently and accurately provide points changes to the system. As such, we want to make sure that when we do release points updates, they are founded upon a wealth of information our community provides. Rest assured, whilst missing in this update, there will be major updates to all pitch battle profiles in the next big round of FAQs. The presented errata and designers' commentaries clear up minor conflicts in rules released since our last update and clarify how previous ambiguous rules are intended to work. And then they just ask you, the same old send your FAQs and questions here. By pitch battle profiles, they mean points. There are no points updates across this at all, and it's likely been confirmed that any points updates that are currently in this, they've accidentally misplaced and have put back correct and are actually not the correct ones. They've put in the wrong set of points. So there's that. There's no point updates. Now, for me, I'm not overly worried about points updates. There are quite a few models that probably can use some points adjustments, and I think we all know what those massive offenders are. However, I am a strong believer that points cannot change the usefulness of many things. I think we are much better in updating War Scrolls and updating rules and with the actual proper FAQs and all that. And things like Broken Realms Morathi on how we updated things like the Leviathan and the Alapex, etc. I think that is the way to go to fix things rather than points. Points for me is always just a minor fix and really a stopgap fix. That being said, I am a little disappointed that there are no points updates. I feel there are definitely some that can be warranted. I feel there's been enough events in the world. Coming from Australia like I do, we've had events all throughout this in numerous different states, in between different lockdowns in various different states. And as many know, we have a very large and thriving Age of Sigmar community here in Australia. Not to mention as well, there's been parts of the USA that have been able to go, as well as Europe, and even the UK has got a few events in here now and then, and not to mention Tabletop Simulator. Whatever you think of Tabletop Simulator, it is a simulation of the game, and perhaps maybe that data could have been used to get some information on the points, but it seems that Games Workshop doesn't appear to be taking that particular data on board. I can understand why they don't want to take data on board from something that is a simulation and not the actual game. I can understand that point, but I can also see why those playing Tabletop Simulator think that it should count as well. I can see both parties' points. But that's enough talking about this. We're going to go into view FAQs, and we're going to have a look at all the FAQs that have been updated for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and we'll go through them all. So let's start with Battletome Disciples of Tzeentch, their errata. Has anything changed in here? Remembering we're looking for magenta. That doesn't seem... Gaunt Summoner, Book of... Nope, changed to 5 horrors. That's all there. So nothing has changed on this one. Designer's commentary. Anything in here? For the magenta. Here we go. Can the Change Master's Fortune and Fate ability trigger more than once in the same hero phase if the casting roll for an extra spell is a 9+? Yes, cool. That's really cool. And does the changing a dice roll for the Mastery of Magic ability count as a modifier? Yes. So changing the dice roll for the Mastery of Magic ability, this is the Lord of Changes ability, where he can change one of the dice to match the other dice. If I'm corrected, I'm pretty sure I am. The fact this counts as a modifier now is cool. I think this is a good change. It should count as a modifier. Next up, we've got Battletome Flesh Eater Courts, the errata here. Do we have anything in here that matters at all? War Scroll Battalions. The Royal Family changed the battalion organization to 1 Abhorrent Archregent, 1 Abhorrent Ghoul King on Royal Terrorgeist, or 1 Abhorrent Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon. 2 to 6 Abhorrent Ghoul Kings that do not have mounts. This is a big change because it means how this used to be is all keywords. So you can no longer take a whole like Terrorgeist family here. So that's a really big change. Grissagor would be a normal one you might see with this particular battalion in the army, with a whole bunch of Terrorgeists flying around killing stuff. So that's a pretty decent change, and that seems to be the only major one here for Flesh Eater Courts in this one. We've got Designer's commentary as well. Do we have any changes to look? Yep. Call to War allows a Grissagor hero to pile in and then attack as a reaction from being slain. Can I use the Feeding Frenzy to fight again after using Call to War? Yes. Call to War happens before the slain model is removed from play, temporarily halting the normal game sequence at that point. The Feeding Frenzy command ability can be used after Call to War to allow that model to fight for a second time. The normal game sequence is then returned to and the slain model is removed from play. So big one is, like, obviously you can double pile in with your Grissagor hero even if he's slain. Cool. That's not scary at all. Absolutely horrifying. Seraphon errata, probably one of the ones that people are looking most forward to. Lord of Celestial Manipulation, bind endless spell. You can, if successfully cast, pick one endless spell within 18 inches of the caster that is not soul linked and is visible to them. So little change there, clearing up, needs to be visible and all that sort of stuff. And that's it for that part of it. We can go into the designer's commentary and see if we've got anything here as well. And it doesn't appear that anything has changed from the designer's commentary. Cool. Obviously, the big thing that people wanted with Seraphon is some points changes, and in particular, one particular model known as Lord Croak to get some points hikes. We've got our Warhammer base size errata. That'll mostly to be include all the new stuff that's come out since. Warhammer Age of Sigmar core rules, designer's commentary. Let's have a look. So at the end of each player's turn, who checks to see if they have gained control of an objective first? The player whose turns is taking place. Can a model that is within 6 inches of an objective I already control and an objective I do not control be counted towards both objectives? No. And anything else in here? This is one of the big ones. It doesn't appear to... Oh, here we go. Can models be set up in reverse in the Celestial Realm, for example? So, not reverse. Can models set up in reserve in the Celestial Realm, for example, cast spells or use abilities or command abilities? No. Like, if it's not on the table, it can't use abilities. That's pretty simple, that one, I think. Still scrolling down. Doesn't appear to be too many others. Here we go. Some abilities such as Caradron Overlord's Command Trait, Bearer of the Iron Star, and the Seraphon Artifact of Power Incandescent Rectrices allow a model that would have been slain to instead heal wounds allocated to it and ignore any wounds yet to be allocated. Do abilities such as these also ignore mortal wounds yet to be allocated? Yes. So this is a cool one. If you have an amount of wounds and then you're slain, and then you come back alive, you ignore all those wounds that would have slain you. That, like, you stop once you're slain the first time, you then disregard all extra wounds and then get back up, meaning they can't, like, overkill you and make sure you stay dead. Still going down the page, just double checking, make sure we got no more magenta here. It doesn't look like it, and that's it for the corals. There were some nice little neat tidy up things there, I think. That was okay on the corals. We got an errata from Malign Sorcery. Nothing. Oh, here we go. Balwin War Scroll card, summon Balwin Vortex. In addition, Morathi Kane cannot attempt to cast this spell, so Morathi Kane cannot go on a Balwin Vortex. That's a little Morathi for those wondering. And then Malign Sorcery. If a wizard has an ability that increases the number of mortal wounds inflicted by the spells they cast, this is also applied to abilities of any endless spells that the wizard casts. No. And most of this is just some abilities allow a model to know additional spells. Can they effectively know endless spells they haven't paid for? No. Do abilities that provide protection against the effects of spells or wounds inflicted by spells also provide protection against the wounds inflicted by an endless spell? Yes. So you're not getting any benefits, but if you have defensive abilities that affect spells or wounds inflicted by spells, you get your defensive abilities. So this would be things like Halara, or what's the Ossiarch Bone Ripper's one called? I forget the name of it. Null Myriad, that's the one. Sometimes an ability will allow a model to attempt to unbind a spell. Does this allow them to dispel? No. Dispel and unbind are completely separate things. Some spells require you to pick a point on the battlefield with a certain distance to the caster, and then draw a line from that point to the caster. Can this point be measured from an ambush spell portal? And if it can, is the line then drawn back to the caster? Yes to both questions. So if you have a line spell, you can then cast it through, pick a point within range of your endless spell portal, and then draw that line all the way through back to your caster, so making massive lines of damage power. So it's just pretty cool. Caradron Overlords get an errata as well. So emergency event plates, if you change the final sentence to if you do so until the end of phase, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target the bearer or any friendly unit wholly within 6 inch of the bearer. Cool. Pretty simple sort of stuff there. I like the event plate. Designer's commentary. And do we have anything in here? Oh, cool. Can a marine model join the garrison of a friendly sky vessel with a flying transport rule whilst that sky vessel is within 3 inch of an enemy unit? No. Though the flying transport rules state that the sky vessels are not terrain features, they follow the garrison rules. Cool. So yeah, you can't jump into an airship while you're in combat. If a Barrack Zilfin army... in a Barrack Zilfin army, can an Archanaut company unit from the Iron Sky Attack Squadron War Squad Battalion leave the garrison of an Archanaut frigate using the Bold Privateer's ability after that Archanaut frigate has been set up using the Fly High ability, and there's the Always a Breeze if you look for it footnote? No. So this sort of stops a little bit of the redeploying shenanigans that KO have. Solid little FAQ, if not a little wordy. And so we've got a few more. We've got Lumineth, errata. Nothing in their errata, and then we've got their designer's commentary. So this will probably have some stuff that the errata didn't. So looking for that magenta again. Can I use the Seeing Stone of Selenar rules to ignore the effects of endless spells cast by friendly wizards? No. So your endless spells will still hurt anyone you're trying to use the Seeing Stone of Selenar rule to ignore their effects, which is cool. Meaning your endless spells have, backlash ability, all for that. Nighthaunt errata. The Briar Queen War Scroll download from Games Workshop. Add the wizard keyword to it so she actually becomes a wizard. Cool. Simple. Glad she's got it now. And I'm pretty sure... And here. I have a question regarding Murmur and Banshee's ability Spell Eaters and its interaction with other endless spells, specifically the part of the rule which reads, once in each of your hero phases, if this unit was within 6 inch of an endless spell, this unit can attempt to dispel the endless spell in the same manner as a wizard. Can this ability be used at any time during the hero phase? No, it must be used at the start of the hero phase because that is when your dispels happen. So the Murmur and Banshee's ability has to be used as if they were trying to attempt a normal dispel. They just obviously have to be within range to do it. General's Handbook errata. Nothing in the errata. And then Designer's Commentary. Do we have anything? Here we go. It is unclear what exactly the recovery step in a Skies of Slaughter game occurs. Please, can you state when this happens at the end of each impulse? Right, that's just completely off track of main Age of Sigmar. Skies of Slaughter is the cool open play style game with massive monsters in the skies. So nothing much really there. And then I guess the big one is Broken Realms Marathi errata. So let's have a look at this because this is our big one. Misthaven battle traits. Narcotics rules change the third sentence to you can choose one additional friend or hero to have a Misthaven narcotic for each artifact of power you include in your army. So what this means is Misthaven actually starts with 2 narcotics in their army because they get one for being an army in the same manner as an artifact, but they also get one for each artifact they have. So because you get one naturally, you're going to get 2 narcotics. So it's a nice little change. Pretty cool. Stormkeep battle traits mortal auxiliaries. 1 in every 4 units in the Stormkeep army can be a Cities of Sigmar unit. Those units cannot be the army general. Add 1 to their bravery characteristic whilst they're wholly within 12 inch of a friendly Liberators unit. In addition, when you pick a unit to benefit from command ability from Battletome Stormcast Eternals, you can treat those units as if they were Stormcast Eternals. So this is remembering that all your specific sub-faction Stormcast rules won't work on your city's units, but everything that affects the Stormcast Eternals unit basically will. So cool. It just stops things like being able to double tap shooting on like Iron Drakes with Anvils of the Helden Hammer, for example. Idolator's battle traits, Panoply of Ruin. Idolator's cultists can have units have the battle line battlefield roll. In addition, a Chaos Chariot or Gorbeast Chariot's unit. If you upgrade a Chaos Chariot or Gorbeast Chariot to be an Idolator Lord, all Idolator cultist units in your army gain the Mark of Chaos keyword that was picked for the Idolator Lord. In addition, when making a charge roll for an Idolator cultist unit, change the lowest dice to a 6. If the double is rolled, change one of the dice to a 6. Cool. I really like that. It's solid. This is actually making Idolators not too bad. A nice little buff to the Idolators. They're a really cool sub-faction, and I really want to see more of them on the table. So this is cool. Idolators battle traits. If you do so, the unit gain... So, Idolators battle traits, Idolator Lords, rules change the second sentence to. If you do so, the unit gains the Idolator Lord, Eye of the Gods, Hero, and Priest keywords, is an Exalted Charioteer, even though they only are a unit of 1 model. You must give it one of the following Mark of Chaos keywords when you select it to be part of your army: Khorne, Tzeentch, Noble, Slaanesh, or Undivided. Cool. All in all, really good. There's some decent buffs there. Misthaven got a nice little extra bit. Idolators got some extra stuff as well. And we'll go into the designer's commentary. And this will be the last bit we get. So everything here is brand new. So do the Cities of Sigmar units I include in the Stormkeep army gain the Stormcast Eternals keyword? If the answer is yes, do they gain the Stormhost keyword to their army? No to both questions. They don't gain the keywords. They count as being a Stormcast Eternals unit. So that's important. And can Cities of Sigmar units in a Stormcast army benefit from sub-faction command abilities? No. Literally the same sort of question. However, the cool thing in this is, are the new Doors of Cain War Scroll Battalions available for use by Temples of Cain other than Zainthar Kai or Cobra Kai? Yes. Which is really cool. So this means a whole bunch of buffs for different sub-factions like Hagnar and... I forget the name of the other one now. I use it all the time. The one that jumps around. Forget the name. Anyway. But that's it for everything that came out with the FAQ. What did you think of the FAQ? Are you disappointed there's no points and stuff like that? Please leave some comments down below on anything you haven't had answered, or anything you're happy with or not happy with the changes of. Thank you all for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 2,000 members now. If you'd like to come chat with me more and other members of our fine community, you can do so by following the link down to our Discord server in the description of the video below. And also, while you're at it and on YouTube, go check out our featured channel section, which features a bunch of other amazing Age of Sigmar content creators who have some great Age of Sigmar content for you to go view. Last of all, though, thank you to everyone who supports the channel financially. Thanks you to James, AJC, JC, Christian Weir, Philip Ward, Siren, Kenny Lowe, Alder and Shot First, Cowspawn, and James Crowder. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. And if you'd like to help support the channel like these fine people do, you can do so by following one of the many links down in the description of the video. You can join and help support the channel by either on Patreon, Ko-fi, or YouTube members. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.